So how did that connection happen? So you're at the gym. You said you reached out to him because at that point in his career, he's starting to rise. People starting to know who he is. What made you think he decided I'm gonna go with this guy? How did that happen?
So, like I said, I was starting to get some, local publicity.
Right.
Like just my name was starting to get out there in my gym. I had a core class that, it had 65 people in it, like coming 3 times, 65 people working out together. It was a big deal. I went to the fight and I went with a friend. We sat ringside. And when they walked by, I'm trying to dap up the team. And I told my friend, I'm like, I'm going to train him. And, he just kind of, same thing with the gym. Yeah. When you open up, we tell people stuff. But like, I manifest, I believe, you know. And so I reached out to Red Spikes, one of his coaches. We kind of knew each other, followed each other on Facebook. And he was just like, just shoot him a Facebook message. Just hit him directly. He prefers that direct connection. And, like I was just thinking, just like now, it'd be like, I admire or look up to LeBron or something like that. Like just shoot him a Facebook message or Instagram message.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking,
you think like,
it's not going to go anywhere. I'm like, okay, he just pushed me away. But like,
but that's how we built, because people do that to me.
Yeah.
They do that. That's how we built it.
Oh, yeah.
So that's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Hear that story.
So, like I just shot him a message, a couple weeks later, I got a message back. He was like, yeah, I'll try you out. And so he shot out by himself, came with nobody. At that time, like I said, he was a world champion at that time.
Right.
Came with nobody. And my gym, by this time, is 5,000 square feet. So we bought another bay or rented another bay. But it was open space. When people came to the gym, if they weren't coming for a class and it was just personal training, it was just you and them. This large space. And so for me, just because I feel like I was born with it, like we were talking about, Bud's born with it to be, the great star he is. And so when he came out, it was just like, I worked out with every client every day, every training class. I didn't care if I had 8 sessions in a row. I was going to be their bunny. And, like when he came out, I know he's coming out for a good workout, but in my mind, I want to see where I'm at. Let me see where I'm at as far as the elite status.
Right.
I'm gonna push that ass.
Right. Right.
But either way, great workout. He wanted to come out 2 days later. I was like, great. Came out 2 days later, and after that session, he was just like, hey, I want to make you a strength conditioning coach for me. Bring you out to training camp. We do them in Colorado Springs. We'll be out there for 6 weeks. Then another 1 or 2 in the Fight City. Let me know if you could do it. And I was just like, great. Give me a few days because, I got to see what that looks like from family. I got a business,
Right.
And I was like, I'll get back to you. He was like, I need you to get back to me tomorrow.
That part.
Because we leave Sunday.
Not ASAP Rocky. I mean ASAP.
Oh, yeah. Now. Like, hey, you want to do it or not,
Right.
And for me, obviously, I'm going to figure it out.
Right.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And so, hit him the next morning. I was like, yeah, count me in. And, it's been 10 years, so.